This week on the Full-Time Flippers Reselling Podcast.
Yay, collector plates. Hang it on your wall. Show your friends. Not food safe. Like, what? What are we even doing with this?
Hi, I'm Chad the Quirky Picker. I'm a full-time reseller from Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Hi everyone, I'm Denis the Free King Flipper. I'm a full-time reseller from Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Join us each week as we discuss life as a full-time reseller. We will share our experiences, both the good and the not so good.
Learn from our expertise and our mistakes.
From sourcing to listing to shipping,
Customer interactions, we will cover it all.
this is the Full-Time Flippers
Reselling Podcast.
All right, Full-Time Flippers Reselling Podcast, Episode 9. I am Chad the Quirky Picker, and I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Denis the Free King Flipper. What's going on, guys?
Hey, everyone. Hey, Denis, how was your week?
It was very quick. It seems to be flying by. I don't know, between packaging and sourcing and listing and taking pictures, it seemed like a blur to me. I did have a couple of good sales and a couple of interesting customer service interactions. We'll get to that in a little bit, but I would say a solid week, a good week. I can't complain.
Yeah, you said you were going to hit a couple yard sales last week. Did that happen, and how did that go?
I think I took a really quick Instagram reel or whatever, and I only managed to go to one. The other one, the weather was so bad. The other one, she was going to have it, and she ended up just bringing everything back in. The one I did go to, I only ended up buying like 3 items. Nothing crazy. I got a real nice Patagonia zip men's XL. I think they call it a better sweater. Okay. And that was like $3. So that should sell between $40 and $45. That's it. So it was just a tease, kind of like, hey, we're having yard sales, and then not so fast. I mean, it's still too cold. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's like 20 of them coming up this weekend in our area, which is low compared to the 70 or so we had last week, which I didn't hit 70. I did go yard sailing. I like to use the term yard sailing, and I spell it like sailboat, S-A-I-L-I-N-G. Yeah, it's not even a real word, but I float from house to house like I'm sailing in a boat. So I use that term yard sailing, even though spell checker hates it. I didn't find a large quantity of things, but I did buy 12 items for $10 total for those 12 items, and I listed them all on eBay for $275 total. One item already sold. It was a new in the box computer mouse that I paid $2 for, and it sold for $50. Sold that yesterday. But the most expensive item that I bought, I haven't even included in that total. It's a fireplace vacuum cleaner that vacuums up the ash in a fireplace. I paid, they wanted $30. I offered them $25 and they took it. It's like high quality shop vac type of a device. It has like a metal hose so that it doesn't catch fire.
Yeah. And it should have a fireproof pre-filter on it. If you open it up. Yeah. I use them. That's why I know they are not cheap.
No. So I paid $25, and I saw a similar one sell for $125. Wasn't the same model number. So I got to figure out if my model number is better or that model number was better. But yeah, I'm expecting $125 out of that. So add that to my $275, and it was about a $400. I should make about $400 off of that. I met the Susquehanna Picker. I think I talked briefly last week that I might be meeting up with him.
I saw that.
We shopped a couple yard sales and went out for breakfast afterwards. But I didn't do any other sourcing this week. And we'll see. There's 20 yard sales this weekend, but I can't go to any of them because I have an event going on this weekend. We're recording on Thursday today, and I'm at work in my warehouse. So this is what you can kind of see my warehouse in the background, but I'm on my phone, so I won't have visual props today. I think Denis still can.
I've got a couple. Yeah. And I go on vacation next week. So we'll be recording from a exotic location.
Yeah. surprise mystery location that we'll
Yeah.
find out about next week.
I mean, what would you say? Busy, slow? Was it what you expected, or?
I expected to find more things last weekend.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep my vehicle empty because I knew I had to go to that estate sale and pick up like all the items that I won, lots of electronics, which I'm listing already. And I sold one item already. I was going to show a visual prop, but some little device I paid.
What's it called?
It's called a Bristol loudspeaker test set. And I
Okay.
wish I could show you what exactly I was going to show. I mean, it's hard to talk about stuff and explain it, describe it.
Yeah.
But that's why I was going to show everything on my PC, and I just can't do it today. So I paid $20 for it, sold it for $125.
Nice.
We'll come back to that later, but let's move on to viewer mail. I'll share a comment from one of our viewers. I think we shared something from her last week. Esme loves vintage. She responded to our question as far as what is the most profitable thing you've gotten for free that you flipped. And she says she was driving around on a heavy trash pickup day and saw 5 Napa Valley cassette storage units that hold 100 cassettes each. She sold one after the other for about $40 each profit. And then a year later, her husband saw 4 more at a garage sale, and they paid $1 each for those. And they sold those she said she sold those 4 for $36 profit each. So is this made out of wood or these plastic?
Yeah. Yeah. Think Napa Valley, you think of wine.
Yeah.
And the wooden crates that wine come in. So basically, I don't know if these are formerly crates that had wine in it, or it's just made by the same company, and they make them for DVDs, cassettes. I think there's even a VHS one, but it's a picture of wooden crate and then all the slots to put all your media in.
Is there a little like a toggle that you press and it pops it out? Or
it's literally wooden crate. It's a wooden crate with little shelves in it, and it has they burnt the logo into it on the top of it, and it'll have the Napa Valley logo on it. For some reason, people love these things. They love the look of them, and every time I find them, like Esme said, they boom, gone. So, and I could probably bring that up, and
I'm looking right now.
I mean, they're pretty cool.
There's a lot of money in these old CD, cassette, wood storage cases.
I don't know why they're so popular, but like I said, here, I'll see if I can bring it up here. Yeah, these are what Esme was talking about. So you can see they're made out of wood. It's got the logo etched into the end of it. And this one is for CDs. They have some for cassettes. They have some for DVDs. And for some reason, they sell pretty well. There's larger ones. There's one. So there's a pretty big one. There's some like over here for VHS. Yeah, you'll find them out there. I don't know if I could find them for $1 a piece. That's great. What a good deal. I would have bought them all as well. So
that's our bolo. We should have her on to share her bolo, which she could have shared this with us.
Yeah, Esme, throw us a message, either one of us, if you want to come on and give us a bolo or two. Sure. Let us know if you're interested.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks.
It'd be fun. That question of the week was, what'd you find for free and sold? I was trying to think back to different things. And one time I was driving around a neighborhood yard sale and I saw a 1970s blue toilet. So it was free. And I did some comps on eBay and saw some that had sold for like $400 or more.
Wow.
I didn't want to ship it. I was too afraid to ship it. So I put it on Facebook for like $300, and someone sent me an offer of $200. They came, picked it up at my house, and it was going into an Airbnb that was like 1970s style, and they had a blue bathroom and they wanted a blue toilet.
Wow.
Kind of cool.
So cool.
So that was $200. But then I remembered that my mother-in-law gives me lots of things to sell. She gave me a set of the 12 mini Longenberger baskets. They made these nice mini versions of all their baskets. If you look up the Longenberger minis set of 12, it's probably the highest selling thing that Longenberger sells. And they were some of them were in the box, opened, displayed, whatever. But I sold those for $425 plus shipping. Wow. And I was going to show you. I would have shown you a picture of it, but I can't. But then I remembered about a year earlier than that, my mother-in-law gave me an old radio to sell. I think it was, I couldn't find it. It's so long. It's
Philco.
maybe Philco, 1930s style AM radio.
Yep.
And it was like the shape of a cathedral window or a stained glass window in a church, that shape.
Tombstone.
Tombstone shape. Yeah, it could work. And I had no idea what it was worth, but she's like, is this worth anything? So I kind of looked it up on eBay, and I'm like, I can't find any of them. I mean, maybe it's worth 100 or 200. So I'm like, well, let me try this website called WorthPoint. So I signed up for a 7-day free account on WorthPoint and typed it into WorthPoint, and boom, there was several of them selling for $800 or more. So I put it up for $800. Wow. I sold it for $700 to a museum, a museum in Memphis, Tennessee called the Rock and Soul Museum, which I was going to show you a screenshot of. And they said it's going in a museum, and they were going to take all the guts out of it and modernize it, but they just wanted the look of it, and they were going to restore the wood. So
very cool.
I think 700 is my highest dollar amount that I've sold something I got for free.
I love it.
All right.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm. You're the free king. Moving on to story time. Do you have an interesting story you want to tell us today, Dennis?
Sure. This is back. Oh man, it has to be 5 or 6 years ago. Normally what I would do is I would come home from work late, and I am exhausted. I am so tired. It's probably close to 11:30 at night. And I made it a habit to stop probably a half an hour. I had a 75-mile drive.
Wow.
Home and back, like one way, right? So 75 miles. So I'm probably not even 30 miles into this drive, and I'm already, the eyes are you're, starting to close, and I'm nodding. And I would make it a habit to get off at this exit that had a Best Buy, a Bed Bath & Beyond, a Staples, and a GameStop. Obviously, it's almost 12 o'clock in the morning. They're all closed. So I would make it a habit to go and dumpster dive, and always felt a little sketchy. You're pulling in the back, you're going around back, like no good happens at midnight behind a store.
Yes, my mother told me that.
But it was just a routine. Just get out of the car, just walk around a bit, find some cool free stuff in the dumpsters, and it kind of, if I found something cool, I'd be jazzed and not be awake for the entire ride home. So this one time I pull in there, and it was the GameStop one, and they threw away all of their cardboard cutouts, all the standees and all that stuff with the Mario and all that, just all the cool video game stuff. So I'm arm full with a whole bunch of them, and I always have my trunk open, and I turn around, and here comes 2 lights just shining. And I kind of did the deer in the headlights look, and I'm just going to leave you there. I'll come back and tell you what happened after that.
Dang it. Was it a cop? Was it somebody else? Maybe it was a competitor.
You'll find out.
Yeah. Darn. All right. Well, I have a good story. A house in my neighborhood had sat vacant for 13 years. I've only lived in my house 9 years. So my neighbor said, yeah, it had been over 4 years when we moved in, that house had sat vacant. So it sat empty for 13 years. And then suddenly a friend of mine sent me a Facebook link to an estate sale that was coming up. And they're like, is this close to you? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the house. Like, we had contacted these people and asked them if we could lease the house from them to make an Airbnb out of it. I'm like, we would clean it up and fix things to go to help pay, would pay you in order to make it an Airbnb. And they had no interest, but we found out why. So I responded to the ad, and I'm like, hey, I live catty corner from this house. I would love to come get first dibs on this house. When will you be there? And they're like, well, the estate sale starts Thursday, and it was invite only. And it wasn't like an estate sale like you would think. It was just like, come help us clean out the house before everything gets thrown away.
Yeah.
So when they said, we'll be there Wednesday, you can come over Wednesday. And my time was really limited. I was working a full-time job then, and I had I didn't have a lot of time, but I showed up Wednesday and went in the house, and it was untouched for 13 years. There was dust, tons of dust everywhere in this house. Trash. And I don't mean like garbage trash. I just mean like boxes of receipts and invoices and just stuff they've thrown around the house. There was cracks in all the walls, so I'm pretty sure it had no electricity all those years. And they sold it to one of those companies that buys up houses for cash. So I walked in and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to find here. But then I turned, because the kitchen was like all the cupboards, doors were hanging out the cupboards, and there was cracks in all the ceilings. But I went into the office, and there in the office, it looked like an office from 13 years ago that hadn't been touched. There was like an old compact computer sitting there with Windows 3.1 or Windows 95, one of those. And I only know that because underneath, I was pulling like trash bags full of paper and stuff away, and I found boxes full of unopened PC games. Some were games, some were software, but I started filling up boxes with games. And I met the daughter and the grandson of the owners. And the daughter, really, I don't think she had any interest in just trying to help empty the house out, doing her parents a favor. They didn't care. They didn't care what anything was worth. I went through a closet and I'm like, I think this is your father's military uniform hanging here. It was like dry cleaned. And I'm like, oh, that's important. But they told me anything that doesn't go in the next 3 days is just going straight in the dumpster. So I just randomly picked a box in the office and I dug down into the box. It was phone invoices and utility invoices and stuff. And at the bottom of the box, I found something that was worth a lot of money. I quickly looked it up on eBay and discovered it was worth $2,400.
Oh.
Now remember, this would have been thrown away in a dumpster had I not found this, because I do not think anybody else would have found it. There was only a few people that came and picked this house at all. And I watched people show up and then they would leave like within 5 minutes. It wasn't their kind of thing. I think they were looking for like antiques and different things like that. So this would have went in the trash. What was the item that I found? You'll have to wait to find out.
Just wait. We're going to finish up these stories
later on in the podcast. Let's move on to home runs and strikeouts. Best and worst sales of the week. What do you have, Dennis?
My home run, I think there is an Instagram post that I put up this past week, was that Pyrex chip and dip set. Did you end up seeing that thing?
I did see it. It was awesome.
That was wild. It was in the box. It's got that like robin's egg blue color. And it was like a square bowl and then a metal stand. I don't even have it. If you go to Instagram, it's on there. It's a picture of it, but think of a Pyrex bowl and then a little mini bowl that sits on top with this little stand. And I paid $7.99 with the box. Came with the box. And I put it up on eBay. I did comps. There was 3 of them on there. One was like $350, another one was $400, but not sold. So I switched over to sold listings and there was nothing. So it was interesting. You know, what am I supposed to do here? There's none sold for that price, but these people are doing $350 to $400. So I did $250 plus shipping, and within it was like that gone. So I'm thinking, oh, did I leave money? But there was no sold comps. That's what I'm saying. Like there was one lady, she had one. It was just the bottom bowl for $70, but she didn't have the little mini dip bowl or the metal stand that held it. So there really wasn't anything to go by. So I'm like, well, I could put it on there for $350 and just be another unsold one, or I can get my money like that. And it sold. It sold quickly. And she, the buyer, messaged me and was trying to explain to me how to pack it. I said, don't worry, I've packed Pyrex before. I sell a ton of breakables, and she got it, and she's given me, great feedback and glowing review, and she's psyched to have it. So that was $8 into $250 plus shipping. So I'm not gonna wait, however long it's gonna take for another $50. It was one of those things where just let it go. I don't know. What would you guys what would you guys would have done with that? What would you have waited? You know, do you want the slow dime, the fast nickel? $7 is what I paid, and I got, you know, $2.50 plus shipping, and then after fees and all that. So
Yeah, you can't complain. But
I'm not. No, on to the next. That's kind of like my whole mantra. I don't want a whole room full of stuff. I want stuff moving all the time, and that's why I guess undercut somebody. Somebody's probably pissed that I sold it for $2.50 and theirs is on there for $400. It's only worth what someone's going to pay for it. That's
right.
it. I mean, you can ask whatever you want. So, what was my strikeout was this plush that I bought 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And it was a show on Netflix called Waffles and Moki. Someone out there that has kids will know the show. I didn't know the show. And they were on sale at Target. This is when I used to go to Target and do retail arbitrage and buy all the sale stuff. There's a reason why it's on sale. The reason is no one's buying it. And 2 years later, finally somebody said, would you take $5.99 for it? Yes. Yep. They paid, I think, $7 in shipping. And this thing is some weird stuffed animal. It was like sitting and then it had like cardboard around it. Like it was almost in a box. And I'm like, good riddance. Bye. So if you guys watched that show, let me know what it is, because I have no idea, no clue what it was. I think I paid like $2.99 for it at the time. It was at Target for $14.99. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. No. Nope. So I would call that a strikeout. 2 years, I probably didn't even make anything on it, maybe $1 after fees. So what about you?
I don't buy plush very often. Rarely do I buy plush. It's not my thing. But my home run this week was something that happened today. At that estate sale, I bought a big lot of, they're called audio disc. They're 7-inch records, blank records that you can record on. So they're about a little bit bigger than a 45. So I don't know how old they are, but I went through, there was a box that originally had 24, and out of the 24, 12 of them were still blank.
You use a record player for this?
There's a special record player that records on a record.
Okay.
I don't know how.
But you could hear it on a turntable right now.
Yeah. I paid $85 for these discs, and I put them up for $229. Somebody offered me $125 right away. I counter offered at $150.
Okay.
Because I didn't know what they were worth. I mean, if they were worth $10 a disc, then that's $120. But I was aiming high. The guy denied my offer, and then the next morning they sell for full price, $229 plus shipping.
Love when that happens.
So, yeah. So that just happened this morning.
Good for you.
And they said, please be very careful when you pack them.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yeah, for sure, because you don't find these. These aren't that. They're pretty rare. I mean, there's several of them out there, but this particular size and brand, I wasn't finding many sold comps. That's why I just kind of guessed at $20 a disc.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to do that if there's no comps. I mean, you take an educated guess and factor in what you spent on them. I think you did good.
Yeah. I mean, I saw some singles, a couple singles that sold for like $20 free shipping. So I just aimed high. Because if there's a quantity and the box they came in, that helps add to the value, like you said with your Pyrex. My strikeout this week was I sold 2 tweeters, acoustic research tweeters, to a guy. One had like a dented screen. I clearly described everything in photos and the title and the description. He buys the 2 separate items. One tweeter was $50 that had a dent in it, but I did hook it up and it worked. And then another tweeter I sold for $100. You know what a tweeter is? It's like on a speaker. It's the speaker that makes all the high frequencies, in case someone doesn't know. And that one sold for $100. So he gets them and immediately says, I want to return the dented one. I don't like it. Now, I mean, it looks like nothing was different than what the photos were. And I'm like, okay, return it, send him a label. And 3 days later, he says, I want to return the other tweeter. It doesn't work.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, shoot, I did not include a video of that thing working. Let that be a lesson to me. because he could have broke it. I
Yep.
don't know if he's going to do a bait and switch. I can kind of compare. They're unique enough that I can probably look at the photos.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't work, then he broke it. Because I
Mhm.
had it packaged well. I didn't break it. I should have taken a video, but I mean, I'm annoyed to no end at eBay why you can't add a video from your phone.
Yeah.
I can list on my phone. I can take tons of video on my phone, but I can't upload a video from my phone to eBay. You have to send it up to the cloud or however you do it at your house. But and then you have to go out on Google Drive on my computer and download it to my computer, then find it on the hard drive and upload it. Why that doesn't happen, I don't know. That's a big gripe of mine. Fix it soon,
Agreed.
eBay. Come on. Ridiculous. So he doesn't like the $100 speaker tweeter. And I'm like, what can I do? I said, send it back. I'm sure I ain't going to give him his money back and tell him keep it. I could sell it damaged for like $75 and someone will fix
Right.
it. So I can't wait to block this guy. As soon as I get these two back and he gets his money back, I am blocking him. I don't ever want him buying something from me again. Moving on to bolos and nolos. One thing to be on looking for and one thing that you wouldn't buy again. Do you have bolos for us?
I do, and I just found this week. Composite baseball bats. So it's not aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
It's composite. It'll say it somewhere, and you'll pick it up, and you'll know right away. Can you see that right there? It's backwards.
I can't see. Yeah, I'm blind as a bat. But
Anyway, this is a Rawlings Quantum Pro, and I got this at a thrift store. I think I paid $3 for it, and that one I think is currently listed for $69.99 plus shipping. They're out there. I know they are because I find them a lot. Check it out. This is just some of the ones that you can find. I mean, there's 15 different brands. Easton makes them, DeMarini. So if you kind of start learning some of these brands, you'll start to find them. Anywhere from $80, $190, $185, $65, $115, $134. These are all used too, by the way. These are not new. These things are like $300 and up. These are used. So here's a nice DeMarini for $155 that sold yesterday. So definitely a big bolo of mine. That season is coming in where you're going to want to start finding golf clubs and baseball bats and flip them. So yeah, I love finding them. I love flipping them. I hate shipping them. It's kind of brutal. You got to always like create a box because I don't use the post office, the triangle tube ones because the surcharge. So you just kind of have to use UPS and make your own box. And my Nolo, we've probably covered these in the past, but yay, collect your plates, hang it on your wall, show your friends, not food safe. Like what are we even doing with this? What am I even doing with this? This isn't a free box.
What are you doing with it? Okay.
I don't know. See, I am a truth teller, and I'm also a victim of do as I say, not as I do. Don't buy these like me, because the shipping on this is probably going to be like $12. And what am I going to get out of this? Maybe $5. Not worth your time. And then there you go, limited edition. No, it's not. It's really not. So don't stop buying collector plates. Nobody wants them. I don't care. You go ahead and go find one that sold for $50. You can do that with almost anything. The vast majority of these, 99% of them, are junk. They're junk. They're just dust collectors. So what do you have?
I bought some of those plates in a wood frame.
Okay.
They had and I took the plates to Goodwill and sold the wood frames for $15.
That's awesome. There you go. That's how you do it.
All right. Well, it's going to be real hard to describe this without props. Maybe Dennis can, or maybe I can add in post-production or something. But I was at a yard sale on Saturday, and I came across these pool toys for the swimming pool or the lake or whatever. They're called aqua skimmers. They're like little flying discs that you throw and they kind of skip across the top of the water.
All right.
They're 6.5 inches. They're little small toys. If you type in Aqua Skimmer on Terapeak, you won't find, well, you'll find my two that are for sale.
$50.
And then you'll find, I'm asking $25 each for them.
Okay.
And these things I paid 50 cents at a yard sale for each one. So $1 in the two of them. And the only reason I priced them that high is because if you look at the sold comps, there's one sold comp for $50. Now it is new in the box.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find it.
It's
Is
one
it two
word,
words?
No,
it's one word.
Aqua Skimmer.
Oh, wow. It looks like a Frisbee, right?
Yeah, it's a little. It's only 6.5 inches big though, and it's like an inverted Frisbee so that it skims across the water. But now there are some other brands that make the. Yeah, I think that's. Is that mine or is that the one that sold? That's the one that sold.
That is sold, I think.
Yeah.
So
$50.
wow, for a Frisbee.
Yeah, basically.
A Frisbee.
So, yep, I paid 50 cents for them. We'll see what they sell for, but mine
awesome.
do have some wear and tear on them. They're not mint condition. We'll see what the offer is. But apparently, I mean, someone's willing to pay $50 for one, then they must have a little bit of value. Because there's hardly any on eBay to really compare them to. So they must be a discontinued rare toy.
Where did you find these?
At a yard sale Saturday morning.
Yeah, here's a couple more.
Are they Aqua Skimmer? Or just
yeah, these
cool?
are
Okay.
So Aqua Skimmer, one word. There's two of them for 50. There's two more, a green one and orange one.
That's
They're
mine.
going for 25 each. Yep. And that is about it.
Yeah.
This one has a couple on auction. 3 days left in the auction at $5.
Oh, maybe I should buy them.
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
I've done that before. Have you ever bought anything at auction from someone that didn't know what they had and started it too low?
I haven't.
I did that one time with like a 1960s memory game. I picked one up at an Amish yard sale for $3, and
Oh, wow.
I saw sold comps of $60 for the memory game. You know, just little cardboard pieces that you match in a little plastic tray. And the box was in good condition. So I sold it for $60, and I had just done when I was comping, I'm like, someone's got an auction for $2. So
Wow.
I bid $2 with $8 shipping, and I won.
and
the guy had
send it to you?
Oh yeah, he only had like one or two feedback. It was brand new seller. I got it. I listed it for $60, sold it. But my NOLO is kind of like a be on the lookout for in some ways, but it's a NOLO because blank media, like blank CDs, blank DVDs on spools of like 50 or 100, if it's generic.
Yeah.
If you do comps, I had a whole bunch. I had visual props ready for this, but there's actually a decent sell-through rate, but you're just not making much money. They might sell for $12 free shipping.
The shipping. Yeah, the shipping kills you.
And it's like $8 to ship them. So you're making what,
right.
$4 on a spool of blank media that you paid $1 for at a yard sale. It will sell, but you're not going to make money. The sell-through rate was almost like 100%.
Unless you're talking about cassettes, like blank cassettes.
What do you get for those?
You start look up Maxell XL 290. Oh, yeah. Those are great. And they don't weigh like, even close to the big spool of CDs or DVDs.
Yeah.
And great sell through and very quick. Like it'll be gone within a day or two.
TDK makes a blank cassette that's worth $100. You ever heard of that?
Oh, wow. No. I know that real cool Sony one with the cool 80s colors, the orange and the fluorescent pinks and all that.
Yeah. I had some of those, yeah.
Yep, everyone did. And those still sell really well too. But I love finding blank cassettes.
Talking NOLO here, and I'm looking up BOLOs.
Yeah, you get a bonus. That's a bonus for you.
Yeah, right. All right, moving on to customer service. Do you have any customer service issues from this week you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'll do it quickly because I know we're getting on here. I sold, if anybody knows what a Hummel West Germany, porcelain, little figurines. Anyway, they made dolls, and this is probably a 8-inch doll, the classic little West German boy with the hat and the shoes and all that. Anyway, it was damaged. It's old. Okay. The top of the hat had some wear. I think one of the boots had a hole in it, and the arm was kind of just in the uniform, just kind of dangling. And I described it fully, took pictures in the description, in the title, everything. It sells for a whopping $9.99. It gets to the buyer, and she comes back and says, it's damaged. I said, oh, what? It damaged in transit? She goes, I don't know. The hat has a mark on it. The arm is off, and there's a hole in the shoe. And I said, please reread the original description and the listing. I said, those 3 issues were specifically talked about. She comes back with, oh, I didn't see that. Can I have a partial? I'm serious. Can I have because I didn't read your listing. Can you give me some of my money back? My answer was no. I'm sorry. I won't be able to give you a partial at this time. If you want to return it on your dime, once I get it back in the condition that it was sent, I will give you a full refund. Crickets. Ghost. Goodbye. Read the descriptions. That's why they're there. People don't read it. I even do that obnoxious capital letters READ. It doesn't
you have
work.
to put that at the beginning of your title, but I don't think it would matter.
Nope. So that was my wonderful interaction.
Maybe they don't know what read means. Maybe they can't read.
No,
it wouldn't do any good.
This was just ignorance, I guess.
She could be illiterate. Yeah, and blind. That sucks.
What would you guys do? Would you give her the money back?
My customer service, I talked about the 2 speakers that are getting returned to me. I also sold a 60 disc changer, for a home stereo.
Yeah. Sony?
No, shoot.
I stopped selling those because I get too many returns on them.
Which ones? The
Sony 200, 300, and 400.
Okay. It was a Technics.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I'll go back. So I sold a Technics 60 disc changer, and I fully tested it. I put in like 20 CDs into it. Some guy bought it for $100, packaged it all up. I looked at my photos and I'm like, remote control, because I had listed it probably 6 months ago. Remote control. I'm like, where's the remote control? I couldn't remember where the remote control was. And I went over and looked all over on my shelf. I thought maybe it fell off the back. It's not there. It's not on the floor. It's not anywhere. And I'm like, oh, I know where it's at. It's inside. I'm like, I sure hope it's inside, because I'm not taking this apart to look for the remote control.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So I mailed it, and guy gets it same day, opens up a return, says item doesn't power on, and there's no remote included. So I send him a message, and I'm like, well, I show in the photos that it's on and working, and I think the remote control was inside. Did you look inside? And he's like, it will not power on. I even tried a different power cord. I can't get anything from it. And he says, I don't know, did you have 2 of them by chance and sent me the wrong one? And he didn't find a remote. Yeah, he didn't find a remote control anywhere. And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't have 2 of them. And I don't know where the remote is. So I don't think he's lying to me. I think he's honest. $100. So I'm getting $250 of my sales last week are now coming off my totals for this week. That hurts.
It stings. Yeah, it does.
Moving on to Time Machine. We're going to travel back to a specific year. What would you buy then to sell now? And we chose the year 2000, Y2K.
Y2K. And I'm going to go out of my comfort zone. This is nothing that I had, nothing that I even knew about, nothing I collected. I just wanted to, I don't know, broaden my horizon, see what is a popular thing to buy in 2000 that you can flip now. And I came up with, and a lot of people are going to go, oh, I had one of those. I did not. I don't even know what this thing does. Okay. Let me see if I can bring it up for you. Digimon or Digimon. It looks like one of those. Is it Tamaguchi something?
A
Like
virtual
little
pet,
virtual pet, right? It looks like that.
Yeah. Mhm.
But these are specifically ones from back then.
Mhm.
I wanted to make sure that they were from 2000,
Okay.
and even the little like the figures, like you can see right here, I don't know, I can't even pronounce the guy's name, but it's sealed, and it went for $150. And every single color of these things, there's
Mhm.
blue, yellow, like see-through blue, translucent blue, green. They're all right around $200 for this thing. I never even knew these existed. I probably have passed over these in like a box of free stuff. But guys, if you're seeing these, wow. Here's a pink one, 135, yellow,
Yeah.
just tons. And I guess they made figures, and a lot of 5 figures sold for $105. And then they made cards, I guess. Kind of like a Pokemon. That's pretty much what I'm going to compare this to. And
Yeah.
even stuffed animals. You can see some plush in there, $65. But that's cool. I mean, something that I never knew existed. And so I learned something with going back in time. So Digimon, am I saying that right? Let us know if you guys had one of those. Have you found them? Have you flipped them before? Did you even know these existed? Because I didn't.
Well, I decided to choose Oakley sunglasses from the year 2000.
Oh, nice.
I was a computer programmer back in the year 2000, by the way. I spent 3 years helping my company get all their programs Y2K compliant. It was a huge project. Everyone says Y2K was nothing. It's because of all the alarmists that rang the bells 3 years earlier and
Right.
allowed companies plenty of time to make sure everything was going to work okay before the year Y2K came. Now, you remember the big scare back then was
Oh, yeah.
IV units were going to stop dripping in hospitals, and lights and
Yep.
power plants were going to go down. Well, everybody tested that stuff, and none of it was going to fail. So I don't know why everybody freaked out so much. But I went to a big party on New Year's Eve that night, and my friend was like, "I'm going to go shut all the lights off at midnight, or kill the power to the building at midnight." And I'm like, "Yeah,
That's funny.
we're gonna kill you if we do." you would
That's
create
awesome.
mass panic. It was like 200 people
Oh,
at this
yeah.
party.
Yep.
But no, I'm going to go buy Oakley sunglasses. And the model, I was looking at these up, and I had some Oakleys back in the day. I had some Serengeti's and some other. I used to spend a lot of money on sunglasses back when I had money to burn. But they're called over-the-top sunglasses. They would go over the top of your head.
What?
And I had props ready, but obviously I can't do them on my phone. So if you type in over the top 2000 Oakley, look at these things. It kind of looks like a bra. For your head.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, is this it?
Well, I can't see. It's too small on my phone to see. But
Oh, yeah. So these are
I-
like anywhere from $900 to $2,000 for these things.
yeah, I don't know what they cost
Wow.
new, but I'm guessing between around 100 or maybe 200 at the most new.
Probably from back then. I mean, there's
Yeah,
one in the
Oakley's first.
box with everything. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah. So they're very futuristic. I'm sure they were in a movie. I just can't think what it was. If you know the movie, put it down in the comments for us.
Here's sold. Yeah, they're selling for 800, 860, 700, 950, 1100, 700.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna
there's
buy
no-
a few pairs.
Wow, that is crazy. And these are obviously every single one of these is used.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, if they're new, who knows what they're worth. We're running out of time here, so we want to finish our story. So you started off with the story. What was the conclusion of that?
So I turn around. If you guys remember, I was dumpster diving behind GameStop, and I had my hands full of those cardboard cutouts of Mario. This was for Luigi's Mansion. And I turned to go put it in my trunk in my car, and these two lights just come out like that. So now I'm like, okay, this is not good. Yes, it was a police officer. Yes, I was still wearing my police pants with that big blue stripe down it. And he looked confused as anything and said, I saw you drive back here. You just getting boxes? Yes. Yep. I'm getting boxes and I'm this cardboard stuff and okay, you have a great night. That was it. And I'm like, wow, that was pretty cool. I could have gone some totally wrong way there, because if you think of the back of a building, this is very poorly lit. I just have the high beams on in my car, lighting up the dumpster as I'm digging through. I got the light, I got gloves on. I'm like, I'm doing the whole thing. That's another story, how much great stuff I used to find at dumpsters. But he was super cool, super chill. Got back in his car. I think he just looked down, saw like I had a blue stripe on my pants, and realized he's talking to a fellow officer. Could care less. Got back in his car, drove off. I put stuff in my trunk, and I was awake. I was wide awake driving home the rest of the night, and got home and ended up selling them locally. I didn't want to try to ship these big giant. They were like 3 feet by 5 feet. These cardboard stand-ups, and one of them was from Luigi's Mansion, and that sold for $200 for a piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
The other one was, I forget, maybe Final Fantasy. But anyway, that's the story. So
I'll finish my story. I was digging through the trash of this house that was no longer lived in, getting ready to trash everything in the house. I reached down into the bottom of a box, digging around, and I find something worth $2,400. It was 2 complete sets of Standing Liberty silver quarters, 1917 through 1930, each one. I opened them up and they were complete. I looked them up on eBay, and each one was worth $1,200. I just looked one up today. I was going to show you the comps here. One just sold for $2,700 complete. So now I have a moral dilemma. Yeah. 1, do I tell them about it? 2, do I not tell them about it and wait until everything goes out into a dumpster in the yard and then go dumpster dive and find them and get them for free? Yeah. Because the new owners were taking over the house and they said everything was going to go straight in a dumpster, and it did. I watched them fill dumpsters. Or 3, do I steal them by putting them in my box and saving myself the trouble of having to go dumpster dive next week? Or 4, do I tell them about it and then make them an offer? What would you do, Dennis?
Now that I found it, I mean, I can't do that. I find so much free stuff. It's like if I'm gonna do that to somebody, that's, I don't deserve the free stuff that I find if I'm going to be like a scumbag about it. So I'm just gonna go, hey guys, by the way, and you got to treat it like anything else. Are you going to steal the dude's military stuff that's sentimental? I'm like, no, you're not going to do that. This is really not anything different. I'm going to have to tell them. I'm like, hey, I found this. I'm interested. Can I make you an offer? And see what they say. If they're, oh my God, that's his prized collection. It's an heirloom, whatever. And you're going to feel really crappy if, so yeah, I'm going to let them know and just give them an offer and see what they say,
Yeah. Well, what I did was the exact same thing you did. There's no way I'm going to steal. Like if I knew about it and I went dumpster diving, I mean, that's their own fault really for not knowing what they had. If they got
that's different. Away. That's different.
Yeah. But I'm like, if I'd have just stuck them in my box and pretended like they weren't there, because they wouldn't have known any different. They never would have. They didn't look at anything I bought, and they didn't care what I was valued at. But
so you're taking advantage of their generosity of just letting you rip through the house, and then you take advantage like that. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I wouldn't be able to live with myself, and I don't think I could even sell them because I wouldn't feel right about it.
Yeah.
If I had them in my possession, I'd have to go bury them out in the backyard. Well, it was an episode of something. It's a TV show from the British show called The Detectorist. Oh, okay. He finds this rare coin and it brings him bad luck, so he just goes and buries it back out in the yard.
See, that would be my fear. Would be you're never going to find anything else again.
Yeah.
Because you did that. You're that low that you need to basically scam somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm not doing it.
You're scamming them, but they had no idea that they didn't know they existed. And that was the only thing that like would even bring that into question as a morally,
did you buy them?
So I said, hey, I found these in the trash. I don't think you want these thrown away. And I looked them up and they're worth quite a bit of money. I will give you $500 for each one And they said, well, we can't do that. My dad might want these. And I said, okay, they're yours. I mean, I'm glad that they didn't go in the trash. All right. Well, we're nearing the end of our time.
I have a question of the week.
Oh, you do? All right, go for it.
I do. I'm going on vacation, and you'll see more of that. I'm sure if you follow me on Instagram, I'll be doing some stuff, but it's an exotic location for me, I guess. So I was thinking, how do I use vacation mode on eBay? Is there a vacation mode on Poshmark? What are the things that I need to do to kind of get ready for a week off? I don't normally take vacations. I usually work while I'm on vacation. So this one, I'm really putting everything away. The store is going to be pretty much closed, and I'm going to enjoy myself and refresh and relax and all that. So the question is, what do you do to prepare yourselves for going away on vacation? Do you use the vacation modes and all that stuff? Do you fiddle around with the handling time? Let us know in the comments, and next week we'll read them out, and we'll see what you guys do.
I hadn't really thought about that when you list on multiple platforms, because eBay is easy, but I don't know what all the other, like Macari or anybody else does.
I don't know. It's new for me, so I'm going to find out tomorrow when I put everything on.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, good question.
The next time I talk to you I'll be somewhere else. So
will you share with us where you're at once you get there?
I will. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll be fun. So
nice.
Have a great week, everybody. I appreciate you supporting us and watching and thumbs up and comments and all that stuff. So keep them coming. We love them. Ask us questions, and see you shortly.
Yep. Goodbye, everyone.